Hello and welcome to this overview on the Pricing's Planned Maintenance software. The software can help you organise the maintenance and servicing of equipment on site, and the servicing scheduling handles full recurring services. Before we go into the setting up appointments, we just have a look at the settings and database very quickly. So as you can see here, we've got themes, so we can work in light theme or dark theme if you prefer to work in dark theme. For the purpose of this overview, I think we do it in the light theme. So you have a choice of how you want to work. Also on the help side, as well as the traditional help where you can just look up the help there, we also have numerous videos which will help with getting you up to speed quicker. So you've got some training tutorials there to help you get going. So if I move on to the database, see we have a contact database for our customers, database for our sites and engineers. I just want to quickly go into the equipment and servicing plans. So once we're in here, you can see we have a full equipment asset register, and we can limit or search for items by client, site, area, etc. So if I just limit this one to the Bedrock College, which will then give us a list of assets on that site. And you can see from the colour monitor that's highlighted at the moment here, in the bottom of the screen, it will show a full service history for it. So all the inspection dates, the reason it's you've had the call out, the result of the call out. So we can see 12 months ago that item was actually replaced, the engineer, job number, and any comments the engineer has made. The next tab over, if I double click on an equipment item, it will show all the fields for that item. So we have the customer site, location, a description for it, serial numbers, and the service plan that it relates to, cost and a response priority, and also the warranty date. If you're setting your assets register up, once you've put all the details in for one item, you can actually clone the item and then just edit the fields which may be different. So moving on to the service plans, you can set up as many different service plans as you like. We've got the security system one up here, which was for that monitor. And then within service plans, we also have service types. So you can enter as many different types of services you might have within that plan. All these can be applied to the appointments. So in this case, we have an intruder alarm 12-month check and the hours for the job. So when we set up an appointment, if we put it in at 11 o'clock and it's 2 hours, it will put the end time automatically to 1 o'clock for us. Against each service type, we can set some notes in there, so you can put all your requirements that you need for the service, which can be a useful checklist, as this can be sent out to the engineer. You notice on the equipment details, we had locations, so for each site, you could set up the site and put in all the locations, the different rooms where the equipment can be found. And then we have lookup tables that are used throughout all of our software, and these will be shared with various other modules we do. The results, so when you get the results back for a job, you can say whether it passed, failed, if something was repaired or replaced, etc. And then when we set up a new job, we can say what type of job it is, such as planned maintenance or reactive maintenance, and any other type you might want to put in there. You can color code all of these. And then we can put in a job status, so we can say whether it's active with various degrees on that one, if it's completed, or whether it's penned. And again, those can be color-coded to make things a little easier. We have a response priority, which links to the equipment detailing and also to the contract plan here. You can see on the contract plan, we have various response types and the response time. And then we have some labour rates markups, call-out charges, and equipment markup. Those would be used if you take the additional module, which is the small works module. And so when you set up a job, you can get default rates. You can link all these contract plans either to a customer, or if your customer has more than one site, you can put different contract plans to different sites. And when you create a job for that customer or the site, it will pick up the default plan, which you can edit to a different plan if it doesn't suit. So if I move on to our appointments, so when I select the jobs tab here, we get the job schedule come up, and as you can see, we're on the current month here, and there are some jobs already in there. The ones in green are jobs which have been raised and completed. The ones in yellow are jobs which have been raised but have not yet been carried out, and the red one at the bottom is a job which has been scheduled but it's not yet been raised. And the reason it's already been scheduled is you can see there's a little icon there. That's our recurring plan maintenance icon, so you can see it's part of a weekly schedule. And we've got another one over there, 12-month alarm test recurring. And then the other ones which don't have the recurring are just they might be general call outs that we've had on the fly. So if you want to locate any jobs, obviously once you get busy, this screen can get quite cluttered, so you can select what you're looking for either by customer, site, service plan, engineer, job type, status, or between certain dates. Any combination of those can be used to locate a job. This is a month view. If I select an individual day, then we can also look at jobs on a day view, so it will start on the day there and go over, and these you can select these jobs as well, and if you want, you can alter the time by just extending it, or you can move them to different dates if you wish. So if I go back to our month view, if we want to raise a new job, then we'll just double click on it, select yes for a planned maintenance job, and then we can select the customer. We can either select from the drop down list here, so I'll select the Bedrock Kent Council, or if you've got quite a lot, you can do a detailed search and select from a detailed search option. We can then select our engineer if we wish. So if I want to send Barney out on this job, and we can put in a job and service. So I should put in a 12-month contract in there. We then got a free format to put any notes we want, or we can pick up notes off the service schedule if we've got notes already typed in there. So you can see it then picks up these notes here. So if we want to recur that every 12 months, we can. I can just say same time every day of the year, or I can be more specific and alter that there. We can then set a range, either a number of occurrences, so I could set that, say, for the next 5 years, or I can set an until date, and then that will recur this appointment now for the next 5 years. We can also schedule our labour at the same time, so all I have to do is just double click, and then it will pick up the times for the job and automatically for us. So I can auto recur if I want Barney to do that every year. Click OK, and he's in the labour diary now. So when I select OK here, you can see that's now in the job down there. So we got the Bedrock College 12 months. The other type of appointment we can set up if we like. We can set up, if I put one on the next day, so there's not a planned maintenance, it's a different type of job. So we can select the job type. So in these, as I say, you can put in all these descriptions in the database. So you can just say what type of job we are going to here. Emergency call out, reactive maintenance, long-term job. So I'll just pop this as reactive maintenance, and I'll send Fred on this one. I'll set the job as active. Now, I'm not putting the contract plan here because, as I said, I can, if I wish, select one from the drop-down list. But as I've got one selected, or I should say connected to our customers and sites databases, then I can select the customer and the site, and when I do that, it will update the contract plan for us. As I say, we can change that if we want to a different type of plan, or change the response priority if it needs to be done a little quicker or not as urgent. The other thing we can do is put in some notes there so we can say what the job's about. So if I put in, say, some additional sockets, and then OK that one, and that goes on to the planner for us. So the labour scheduler is fairly similar. It just shows the labour that we've been putting in when we've been putting our job schedules, but we can just schedule labour from there if we wish. So if we want to raise one of these jobs, and say that recurring service we put in earlier, that's not yet been raised. So we can go to raise unscheduled jobs there. Sorry, that one there, sorry. And that will show any jobs which have not been raised. If I want to look at the other jobs, I could just click the switch there and it shows us all jobs, but to make things easier, by default, it will just show the pending ones only. Now we can click all new jobs and it will raise all jobs between the dates which have been entered here. We can print off job sheets if we want. If we don't want them, we can untick that, or we can just select an individual job and say new job and raise it that way. I've selected the job sheet, so it's just brought up the service form for that job for us. And because I've got it flagged as printing out a full form, it would also list the equipment to be checked and the location of it, and print out everything the engineer needs to do on that inspection. And we have the results one as well for that particular job. So that's raising the jobs. Once they come back into us, we can then set the results for the job. So we can either look at our drop-down list there, or we can do a more detailed job search in here. So I'll just extend those dates, say, to the end of the month, because that job I just put in was actually to be done next week. So it's still active, you can see. And then you can just select it and sign it off. If the job has more detail to it, so perhaps if I show you another one, I think that one, yep. So if it has all the location of the items on there, then you can set up and say for each individual item whether it passed or failed. As you can see here, these are all passes. So what we did here was just call up the job and select pass, and then it will update all these fields for us. Similar for the completed, just select yes or no there and it will update all of these. And then if one of them didn't pass, for instance, you can just individually edit that and say whether it was, what the problem was, whether it failed, whether it's service replaced, etc. Similarly, if a job is not completed for some reason, an item is not completed for some reason, sorry, you can alter that to no. It just saves doing them individually, which you can do if you wish. So that's when we've already signed off. I just wanted to show you a more detailed job there. So if we move on to the reports, different types of reports we can do. This is just an equipment status report. So if I want to see anything that's overdue, I can, if I click that, and it will show that on one job, M177 there, that there's a piece of equipment, excuse me, which has not been completed because it failed. The engineer's not made a comment, but it'd be useful if he'd said whether he's waiting for the item on order or given the reason why he's not completed it. But you can, obviously the engineer can put in the details in there for you. The other thing you can do is look up anything which is about to be outstanding in the next number of days, where you can set the number of days there and then run it and it'll show everything which is up and coming, if you like. So just looking at that one, we've got M4177. If I was to go back to our results and select the 177, then you'll see on that one there was an item there which was set as failed, and that item's not been completed. So that's where that comes from on that report. When the results were selected, that was entered. Then we have our key performance indicator reports. So we can set some dates in there where we want them to run. I'll just click that one. And I've got a number of jobs on there which haven't been completed. So if I was to run this back perhaps a couple of days, it'll make it look a bit more sensible. So we've got the one item which is incomplete, which now links back to that report, if you like. And so we can look at the completed KPI for the equipment, individual pieces of equipment, and you've got a similar bar chart, or you can have a pie result for service jobs as well as the individual pieces of equipment. Then we have a job status report, which would show us anything that's overdue. There's nothing overdue at the moment, and this one will show what's coming up, if you like, in the next number of days, or what would be overdue in the next number of days, if you like. And similarly for the jobs KPI. So if I run that one, and again, let me just run those dates back there. Okay, so yeah, oh yeah, so it's just the one job that's incomplete there, and we've got 7 completed. So we have a jobs KPI as well. That's just been a brief overview on the Pricelinks planned maintenance software. If you want more details, please take a look at our website at pricelinks.co.uk. All the prices on the website as well. Thank you very much for your time.